So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to construct the perspective framework for an interior scene. So I'm going to be relating the this with the height of a 1.5 meter eye level, and I'm going to be color coding the lines in accordance with the axis, the XYZ axis. Blue for the Z, green for the Y axis, and anything that's on along X is going to be in red. So I'm going to be, um, this is the front side of the wall that is invisible. So I'm constructing these XYs. So in order to understand this a bit further, I'm going to draw the floor plan, which will come in a bit. But this is the initial construction. So the idea is this is the floor plan. It's 5 by 7. So it's a living and dining area and partial kitchen. Well, the only parts of the kitchen that are going to be the only part is going to be with you're going to show the doorway. So I'm constructing the frontmost wall, which is actually not in existence, but I'm doing this in proportion. So I'm drawing those lines, and I'm trying to make two squares that are stacked together, 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter. So overall, this is like a 3 meter height by 1.5 meter width. So I'm indicating this with a number. Okay, so I'm assuming that is 1.5 meters. And these should look like squares in perspective. So this is proportion. So I'm trying to draw that line and trying to project that, but I had to adjust this because it's not starting not to look like a square. So the width of this room is about 5 meters, and so I'm constructing these lines. Okay, so if we have 1.5 meters, that's 4.5. And how do you construct the last meter of that? Here, okay, so that's 4.5. So I'm making this X extension by subdividing these, and trying to determine if you subdivide this into 3 equal parts, then we could get a measurement of 0.5 meters for each. So I'm extending that by doing that diagonal line again. So I needed that I needed that 0.5 more, so that's 5 meters. So here I'm indicating the bolder red lines where that is. So now I'm proceeding on to the left wall. Okay, so the vanishing point of that is there. It's located somewhere with that vertical blue line with the VPY indicated. So I'm constructing the two squares again in that perspective. So that looks like a square, yes. And then so I'm just extending this with the diagonal lines. So when it hits the top line, you draw a vertical line. So that's the 3 meter mark. So I'm extending that again with the diagonal line going down. And then that would be 4.5. That would be the 6 meter. So the concept of extending is like this. So if we do a square, let's say 3 meters by 3 meters, and you do these diagonal lines, and you can subdivide this into 3 equal parts by doing that line, then you can extend this, and you can make a measurement of, say, these at 0.5 each if you need. So I need, if so this is the concept there, if you want to extend this by 1 meter. So applying that same concept in perspective of that square, so you do the construction, so that's a vertical line, and do the necessary diagonal lines, and you project, let's do the vertical line, for example, there, and then you extend this. You need another meter, so you extend the lower part there, That establishes the 7th meter depth of the room. So there you go. 6 meters, and that would plus 1, that would be 7 meters. So now you can establish where the top line is, or that. So I'm doing a lighter line here, and that would be the other edge of the other wall. The red line again indicates where the x-axis. So the vanishing point for the x-axis is very far off. So I'm doing this by angular proportion. Right now I'm trying to establish this 2.7 meter standard height of the room. So by doing proportion, so not exactly measured, but I'm doing it like so that looks 2.7 rather than 3 meters in proportion. And there you go. That's the 2.7 meter mark. Roughly about, if you subdivide this into 2 to 4 segments, and then you can subdivide those into little tiny things, and you know those measurements correspond to a specific number. There you go, you can establish this. Right now I'm trying to indicate, now subdividing this into 1 meter each, and you can I'm just eyeballing it now with those reference lines, and I know those are, and I could, those are 3 meters each, so I'm subdividing them to 3 equal parts again. So that's 1 meter in depth measurement grid. Okay, you do the same thing on the farthest end, and there you go, and that would be the last meter. It's not perfect, but you can get 90% of correctness here if you have a steady, if you try to steady your lines. Here I'm trying to already plot where the height and the width of the doors, and alongside the that corner, that 5 meter where the stairs is going to start. So the height of the stairs, I'm trying to establish roughly about 0.5 meters, and you subdivide it into 2 equal parts for the height, also the thread, the depth of the stairs, and then you draw the section of that, and go to the projected to the vanishing point Y. There you go. For the next video, I'll show you how I draw out the furniture inside. Thank you for watching.